in Israel as well as the newest events. Following the end of the truce, Israel will achieve a decisive triumph in the conflict in Gaza. But Iran is trying very hard to keep Hamas from losing, even while Iran provides financial aid to Israel's neighboring countries. It keeps sending weaponry to Gaza. Within this framework, Iran and Hamas inked a new arms contract. Officials from Iran and Hamas met in Beirut, where they settled on the terms of the fresh missile shipment. Iran has stated that it will supply Hamas and Hezbollah with weaponry as part of the ceasefire process. Mossad cautioned the administration to stop entry from the Iranian border in the meeting minutes because the Israeli government was afraid the hostages might be returned to Israel. They dispatched the mercenary group Red Dots to the area. The area is home to a sizable Iranian stronghold, perched high above a steep valley. This fortress exercises dominion over the surrounding area. It is well known that Hezbollah was created in Iran, and that many of its members are actually trained Iranian troops. While on the move in the Middle East, Iranian forces, posing as Hezbollah members, invaded Gaza. A Hezbollah stronghold is located in the area. In the U.S. Army's drone images, the castle displays Iranian flags. Under this Lebanese castle lies a tunnel that stretches 350 kilometers. Hezbollah forces from Iran may easily access Gaza through this tunnel, which Israel is attempting to locate and detonate. During the truce, Iran intends to launch its most recent hypersonic missiles into Gaza. These missiles, which were unveiled not long ago at a military gathering in Tehran, are only accessible to 4 countries in the world. These missiles have a range of 500,000 kilometers, allowing them to impact a vast area. The United States' threat and the embargoes against Iran make it impossible for the Iranian regime to mount a courageous strike on Israel. Iran, fearing international backlash, maintains its attacks through groups like Hezbollah and Hamas. For the past month, Iran has beheaded 5 scientists. Carson, U.S. Air, stood out as a global authority on armament. Among these researchers, he was a pioneer in the field. Iranian officials said that U.S. Air had provided the United States with information regarding hypersonic missiles because he was in agreement with the United States, despite the fact that the United States of America dismisses the reports. The fact that Israel intends to install a new defensive missile ramp lends credibility to the assertions. 5. The very last nation to use these missiles that were capable of carrying nuclear weapons was North Korea. The North Korean government has been working on these missiles for close to 30 years. Over the course of 30 years, the rulers have carried out a multitude of unsuccessful experiments on hypersonic weapons, which have resulted in the deaths of their people due to starvation. However, North Korea announced that they had completed the production of hypersonic missiles, which represent a huge threat to North Korea's opponents. North Korea made this announcement approximately 6 months ago. Reports indicate that Iran and North Korea are collaborating to develop hypersonic missiles. There is a tremendous deal of concern all throughout the world regarding the establishment of a new Eastern Union. The United States of America and the countries that make up the European Union would face significant challenges if Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea were to come together to form a new union. With its sights set on Europe, Iran has its sights set on the entire Middle East, while China and North Korea have their sights set on the United States of America. The fight that has been going on between Israel and Hamas symbolizes the beginning of these conflicts. If Israel is defeated, and if Iran, Hezbollah, and Hamas are not also defeated, the adversary will launch a more rapid and avaricious offensive on the world. Over the course of the next few years, we will be present to witness a great number of other significant events that will take place. You can ensure that you do not miss any of the videos that our team has produced by subscribing to our channel, liking our videos, and clicking the Super Thanks button that is located below. When you watch these clips, you can anticipate seeing first-hand accounts of the situation in Israel as well as updates on the scenario. The conflict between Israel and Hamas has reached a 4-day truce, and both sides anticipate that the first group of prisoners detained in Gaza will be released in the near future, following the beginning of the ceasefire at 7 o'clock in the morning local time. Both parties anticipate that it will continue for a minimum of 4 days. Both parties have agreed that women and children will be released first. A statement stated that Israel will extend the truce by 1 day for every 10 prisoners of war that are handed over to the Israeli government. Israeli forces and Hamas in Gaza came to an agreement on a ceasefire that would last for 4 days, and it went into effect on Friday morning. People celebrated greatly when the truce, which had been postponed due to complications, was proclaimed a day later than expected. After negotiations, there's a ray of hope for the 2.3 million Palestinians. Egypt, the United States, and Qatar are coordinating a diplomatic effort that provides hope for the 2.3 million Palestinians. In addition, Israeli families affected by the incarceration of their loved ones due to the October 7th attack, which sparked the conflict, hope that this process will alleviate some of their concerns. The Gaza authorities agreed to take measures as part of the truce. As of October 7, Hamas and other terrorist organizations had made assurances of freedom to at least 50 of the approximately 240 hostages that they had kidnapped. The Israeli government is reportedly planning to free an additional 150 Palestinian hostages, as stated by Hamas. The accord lessened concerns regarding the conclusion of the conflict. However, Israel has made it quite apparent that it intends to resume its attacks as soon as the ceasefire is lifted. According to reports, Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant informed the Israeli armed forces that the truce would only last for a limited period of time and that the battle would continue to be violent for another 2 months. Furthermore, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has pledged to continue fighting even after the ceasefire is lifted, in order to eliminate Hamas's military capabilities, end their 16-year reign in Gaza, and secure the release of approximately 240 hostages held by Hamas and other groups in the other region they control. Meanwhile, Hamas-operated Gaza Ministry of Health reported that the fighting had resulted in the death of approximately 13,300 Palestinians. According to estimates, around 2/3 of this figure is comprised of women and children. Israel and Lebanon will continue to engage in conflict with one another, although Israel and Hamas have reached an agreement to cease hostilities for a period of 4 days. Journalist Wire Davies, who is reporting from Lebanon, has stated that there are no indications that the fighting on the border between Israel and Lebanon will end. According to Davies, neither Israel nor Hezbollah are in favor of putting an end to the hostilities taking place. He went on to explain that there was no way for the two parties to communicate one another, and he continued his statement. The UN officials I spoke to in the region are hopeful, but they said they don't expect a short-term ceasefire along the very sensitive border between Israel and Lebanon, as in Gaza since October 8. Israel and the Lebanese Hezbollah have been launching persistent attacks against the northern region of Israel. You can ensure that you do not miss any of the videos that our team has produced by subscribing to our channel, liking our videos, and clicking the super thanks button that is located below. When you watch these clips, you can anticipate seeing first-hand accounts of the situation in Israel as well as updates on the scenario